Hey everybody, Josh Larson here with the Rage Real Estate team with another market update as we head into the last couple of months of the year. We wanted to share a few things with you about how COVID has been impacting the real estate market here in Denver. And the impact has been pretty substantial, but not in all the ways you might think. So we're going to look at a few things over the next few minutes. First of all, want to show you what's going on with the time it's taking to sell properties in our market. If you look at this graph, you'll see that once the lockdown happened earlier in the spring, the time on market shot up to about 14 days. It took about 2 weeks to sell a house, which is still really fast. I mean, that shows you what kind of a seller's market we've been in. If the time on market can double and you're still at or under 2 weeks to sell a home. Once the lockdown went away and people were able to get back out and look at homes again, the time on market really held steady all the way from June through now at 6 or 7 days to sell a house. That's how long it takes right now to get a home under contract. Specifically, single family homes, 6 or 7 days. You put your home on the market, and within a week, you'll have a buyer. The second thing to notice about this graph is the number of showings it's taking to get a contract. That's pretty much holding steady. You'll see that it dipped down really low during the shutdown, as you'd expect, because there was nobody showing homes then. But once we were allowed to get back into homes following the proper protocols, the numbers of showings shot right back up to normal levels, and we're still hovering right around 15 showings to get an offer, which is typical market activity. So COVID's impact on our real estate market really hasn't been negative at all. And we're going to get into some ways that it has positively impacted the Denver real estate market. First, let's just step back and take a look at the big picture. How many homes typically sell in the Denver real estate market in a given year? That number is about 50 to 55,000. That's usually how many homes the Denver metro area sells in a year. Over the last 6 years, the average, by the time you get through October, the average has been 32,500, roughly. This year, by the end of October, we had sold 33,400. That's detached single-family homes. The condo market, similar numbers. Average is 12,500 by the time we get to the end of October. This year, we're at 13,700. So we are absorbing as many homes as hit the market, essentially. Another question we get asked a lot by buyers is, do I have to be a millionaire to buy a house in Denver? I look around and everybody's buying homes for $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. Kind of feels like HGTV when you're watching a couple that like makes jam for a living and they're out looking at $2 million homes. That's not really the case here in Denver. Interestingly, almost half of the homes that have sold this year have been below $500,000, which has been kind of where our median has been hovering for the last several years. The median is actually above that, but nearly half of the homes are below median. So you can find a home. The affordable homes do exist, especially with the interest rates that we're looking at now, which we'll get to in a minute. So there are three main factors at play here that are contributing to Denver's market not really slowing down at all. In fact, probably speeding up a little bit. One is shifting market demand. We're going to talk about that in a second. Two is really low, historically low interest rates. And the third factor is record low inventory. Let's take that first one, shifting market demand. It used to be when you were buying a home, there were four primary things you needed to consider. First of all, does this home have the features that I want if my family and I are going to live here? How many bedrooms and bathrooms do we need? What kind of a kitchen do we need? Does it have a garage? Secondly, how long of a commute am I looking at to get to work? Third, how far is it from our kids' schools? And fourth, is it close enough to the things that we enjoy doing on the weekends? For most Denverites, that's probably getting up into the mountains. Is it an easy drive to get up to the mountains? Or other hobbies that I might have? Is it near a golf course or public parks or that sort of thing? Well, what COVID has done is it has really compacted those four spheres of our lives and put it all in one place. Now when you're looking for a home, you're looking for a home where you can live and it's got the things that you want in a house, but you can also work here. It's got space for you to work, and it's got space for the kids to do their schoolwork while you're doing work. And it's got enough room for all of you to hang out and hopefully not kill each other. That's what you're looking for in a home now, which is a lot more complicated and maybe more difficult to find than a home that you could make a lot of allowances for previously if it was close to work or close to school, if it checked off one or two of those boxes. So now the home that people are tending to look for needs more space. If I got to go through another winter in this amount of space, I'm going to lose my mind. And so people start looking for more space. Where we're seeing that have a drastic impact is on the downtown condo market. If you look at this next chart, you'll see that most homes are selling, there's about 2 to 4 weeks of supply in most of the markets. The blue in this map represents 2 to 4 weeks of supply in the active inventory. If you look at this really dark red dot on the map, that's the downtown condo market. There are 7.8 months of supply. People are getting out of downtown now because downtown is closed and they're looking for more space. And so a downtown loft isn't really going to meet all of those demands that people have now. So downtown condos have slowed down. That's why. That's one negative impact that COVID has had. Secondly, the second factor in this overall impact is record low interest rates. Rates right now on a 30-year fixed mortgage are right around 2.75, depending on when you're watching this. 2.75%. The difference between 2.75% and where we have seen rates in our not too distant past, 4.75, is a difference in the amount of house you can buy of over $100,000, about $119,000. So by reducing your interest rate by 2%, you can afford $119,000 more of a house, which is also helping the people who were looking for something that was meeting all four of those spheres. Now they need some more space. That typically comes with a higher price tag, and these lower rates are adding money to their budget. And so home buyers are able to afford more. Third, record low inventory. Our average detached single family home inventory in the month of October for the last 6 years is about 5,800 homes. Right now, we've got about 1,900 homes. So there is almost nothing for people to buy. And so that's leading to bidding wars on almost every property. As long as it's priced well, as long as it photographs well and shows well, that home is going to have a bidding war because there's only 1,900 homes in a market that could easily absorb 5,800 homes. So what does this mean for you? What's the big deal? First, for current homeowners, we say this almost every time. If you put your home on the market, you have very little competition. This slide hasn't really changed from the last time we did this presentation, except for we took 2 of those people off because there's less inventory now than there was then. There are a lot of buyers. There are still active buyers. In fact, our buyer pool has not decreased due to COVID. So there are buyers for your home if you put your home on the market with very little competition. Secondly, for buyers, this difference in interest rate is substantially important for you. Not only does it represent a $119,000 increase in your purchase power, it also translates to $510 worth of savings per month in your monthly payment. And over the course of your 30-year loan, it's going to save you $183,700. That's substantial. And that's a reason that a lot of buyers are entering the marketplace because they recognize the benefit of those savings. Third, what should we expect next? This chart kind of blew our minds a little bit because if you'll remember to our last market video, we were projecting this to happen with pricing. We were projecting to go from 580,000 in June to dip back down to like 550,000 in September and October. Instead, what has happened is COVID pushed the peak of the market further back than we've ever seen it, than I've ever seen it in 13 years. And so we're still seeing record high pricing, 592,000 in July, 589 in August, 591 in September. Those are record highs. And so the market is not taking a step backwards because of COVID. Actually, the low interest rates, low inventory, the shift in buying preferences has actually pushed the market up even higher. So the Denver real estate market continues to be incredibly strong, especially for sellers. Buyers, there is hope. I'm sure that if you've seen this, you're thinking, well, what's the point of even jumping in? I can't compete. That's where we come in. We really can help you compete in this market and get your offer to the top of the stack without just throwing a lot more money at the seller. There are ways to get this done, and we would love to help you. So whether you're selling in this market, which is going to be great, or buying in this market, which can also be great, we would love to have a conversation. Give us a call, send us an email. We would love to be in touch. Thanks for watching.